Peaceful, gorgeous self, you have did enough. I will not want you to be deprived from this one thing that I am absolutely determined to offer you. Evil, I am simply on your head and disappear. Knows, I will do my duty when the death is finally preparing to smile at you and you are devastated beyond your expectations, then a shimmer of light will loom and lurk for you. You are requested to fully benefit from this fabulous Srimad Bhagavat Katha, capable of making you obtain much more in short time beyond your expectations. It's time to catch up for lost time. This is Srimad Bhagavat Katha. In the city of blinds, I have come to distribute eyes. To the weak heart, I have come to share my unconditional and causeless love. I have lost my heart to God of infinite love. Wherever I go just to share the dazzling light of my cosmic beloved. My dear friends, when Spanish soldiers were invading South America, when they were in Brazil, near Amazon River, they saw a city full of mansions, palaces, temples made of gold, shining, sky-touching, illuminating. They showed it to each other, soldiers, and the chief commanded to attack and conquer it by tonight. And we will drink our wine and have sex with that city's ladies all night. They drove their horses fast speed, drove. They drove and their horses faster and faster. But even by the evening, the distance didn't reduce. Days and weeks and months, they and others tried to reach it. They called other forces, other people. They also could not reach for a long time, and they are completely failed at last, even to come near it. They named it El Dorado. It is still a mystery city. A mystic city is Shambhala or Shangri-La or Siddhashram of ancient Indian history. It is just like Al-Kufa. So, my dear friends, we see UFO and spaceships and ghosts and apparitions, but not as the common social objects of our age. In North and South Poles, in the Himalayas, with the yogis, with Mahavatar Baba, with Pandit Ram Lal, with the yogis as Perfume Baba, we have glimpses of their dimension of existence, but we have no pre-access to that realm. Srimad Bhagavatam, its fifth canto, enters the topic of whole huge part of the earth which was open for humans. But now, since the last 5,000 years, it has become part of the subtle astral world. Only those people can have access to them who are risen to high levels of dharma, to the high levels of character, broad perspective, vitality, willpower, prana shakti, and who know the wisdom and the mystery of the universe. Okay? When Srimad Bhagavatam was written, it was open for all of us. It seems in the time of King Janmejaya, this drastic change in the nature took place. His father, King Parikshit, had traveled to these great cities and lands and highly revered there for his family relationship with Sri Krishna Bhagavan. But now, in the course of these 5,000 years, it has become almost unbelievable among the intellectuals. Although Hindu popes, Shankaracharya and people of spiritual caliber believe it, but regular normal pandits, priests, Bhagavat orators, they do not understand it, and so they completely escape this part of fifth canto. Only up to the stories of King Priyabrat and his race and few kings. Western intelligentsia will not believe it. ISKCON devotees believe but have no time to make research on it and try to make it part of our earth. Modern generation in India is too busy in money earning, have no time from working, from livelihood. Scholars are just bootlickers of the West. Modern orators and listeners avoid and escape and dismiss it through many stupid logics. Therefore, because I like and love this so much that when I commented this part of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the night I used to travel to those landscapes exactly as when I read in my teenage world geography in 5th grade. I used to fly in dreams, resting on tree tops and hilltops. I explored Himalayas and Alps and Allegheny and Rockies and UK and Sweden and Norway and Aurora Borealis and Siberia and America and so many countries. But it was a dream, and beautiful spots all over the world I saw, they are still a memory. The same way I traveled all over the terrestrial globe, still it. So, describe it as an astral trip, okay? For these reasons, I do not claim, because I cannot take you and show it to you, so I am describing it as astral trip, astral traveling. So expounding the terrestrial world, my dear friends, I am. Today the humanity is divided into Westerners and Easterners. The world is being divided into countries, nationalities, religions, races and civilizations. People's mind is also fragmented into isms and parties and sects and castes and colors and creeds. Such divisions have broken the humanity in thousands of pieces, and the process is still going on. Ladies are broken from sanskari ladies and body exhibitionist ladies. White people hate black people and brown people, calling them third world citizens. Muslims hate non-Muslims. Shia Muslim hates Sunni Muslims. And each one hates other 70 kinds of sects of Muslims in their mosques, in their way of looking. So all the non-Muslims hate outside, all people outside their religion calling them kafir. When Christians hate them, calling them heathens and pagans, and trying hard to convert them, to misuse them, to grab some other countries for themselves. And they want to be a big, huge colonialist. So, my dear friends, they call them kafirs and infidels and idolaters. In USA, even there are religious groups who wrote white man's Bible, trying to prove that the world belongs only to the white people and the colored people must be all killed. There is a large-scale assassinating project, COT, still working in America. Christians and Muslims are trying to convert all the rest of the world by hook or crook and hate the rest. Communist China now has evolved massive killer diseases, corona, dengue-like, and many more. And recently it has killed millions of people all over the world. The tycoons hate the poor, brown people hate whites, calling them mlichas or Firangis. An honest, an angelic person is hated and destroyed just because he belongs to another political party, another country, another religion, another caste. So no matter how big, dishonest and crooked the other one is, loved because he is in our party, in our opinion. With such mentality, humanness is being destroyed slowly, or at least humiliated and thrown on lots of filth that common people never get to know the reality. When humanness is missing in your life, then no matter how big a synagogue, a cathedral, a mosque, a gurudwara you erect will have no God, because divinity will be missing around. Then Satan, the devil, will sit in that cathedral, in that mosque. From such society, the truth, the suffering eliminating wisdom will be missing completely. In such an atmosphere, there is no hope of true happiness, my dear friends. In order to finish the fragmentations of humanity, here is the exposition of the terrestrial world in Srimad Bhagavatam. There are lots of talking in the West, one world, one humanity, global village culture, etc. But they are all just lip service, artificial truth, a theory. Unless you know well the esoteric geography and intergalactic history, the Vedic literatures, all such talks prove just piece of garbage. And once again, the matchless description of terrestrial world in this canto is to finish the chain of dividing and dissecting and separating woman from man, Westerners from Easterners, Indians from non-Indians, Christians and Muslims and Jews from Hindus and Buddhists, and Vedicans from non-Vedicans. This thousands of talks of separatist ideas and arguments, human heart has become pierced, cut, torn and broken. This canto brings a sound synthesis, a soothing pain balm to heal our heart and unite them all in one humanity. And from here, the absolute truth, the the Nirvana, or the Supreme Personality of God. And the God in any form is just one leap away. King Parikshit asked, Holy Sire, O Sri Shukdev Ji Maharaj, O great enlightened saint of the world, I know as far as sun and moon lights up and luminaries are visible are the areas of the planet Earth, which is surrounded by 7 oceans and 7 dvipas. Now I wish to know this in details with their stretch and characteristics and features. I am confident by expanding my mind with expansion of the world, it will become extra refined. Then it will be qualified to address into the vast expansion of absolute Brahma and vastness of the magical leelas of Bhagavan Sri Hari, Sri Krishna Bhagavan. Sri Shukdev Ji Maharaj said, even with the whole lifetime of the celestials, we cannot describe the vast display of Bhagavan's illusory potency, my dear king. So, I can only inform you briefly whatever parts of the earth scientists and geographers and historians and excavators have discovered, that is fine, but to the yogis and in the eyes of the Supreme Bhagavan himself, the earth is far bigger and miraculous. For example, the discoverers of the source of Nile River says he succeeded in discovering it because before him the Westerners tried hard again and again and again, like opening the treasures of mummies of Egypt. Tried and tried to find out the origin of Nile River by the help of Indian Puranas. When they last tried to explore it through Indian Puranas, they found it. It was Tibetan yogis who first told about 2 sea-merged continents, Atlantis and Lemuria, which sank in the ocean more than 900 years before Socrates. Same way, Bermuda Triangle and Death Valley and mystic spots of the earth are such on which no scientists but yogis alone can shed some light which can be trustworthy. Earth stretches on the way as far as sun and moon shines out. This also means from where UFOs come to our earth are also parts of our earth. Secondly, Parikshitji wants to understand through symptoms and inference. Manato lakshanastascha sarvam vijidya Swami. That's what he says. He is right, because Lakshana Pramanabhyam Vastu Siddhi. Perfect knowledge comprises both. Characteristics are in the object and inference with us. We, Pramata, they investigate Prameya. We do not investigate ourselves, neither through senses, nor through mind. No one ever try to discover whether he or she tastes like sweet nectar or sour or bitter or salty. Nobody tries like that. You cannot lick, smell or hear to your own